you cannot have happiness without self-awareness. Like, the more you get to know yourself, the more you know your shortcomings, the more you know your strengths, the easier it is for you to walk in alignment and on a path that you are not doing things that you don't want to do, that cause you pain, that cause you suffering, and you're doing more of it what it is that you want to do. So if you can stay within alignment of that and know the contrast, know the opposing polarities, and then also create this integration with it by doing the shadow work and acknowledging those aspects of yourself that you don't want to acknowledge, bringing them to light and saying, hey, I'm going to be authentically me, and I'm going to bring this together, and I'm going to take that part as a part of myself and acknowledge that and do something to heal about it, then that is where all of this comes together. And then you can be your best version of yourself, increase your potential, activate your potential, and live a life of bliss, which is what I'm trying to share with you. Hello, my name is Michael Earth Osada. Thank you for coming into my life. I'm an unshakable optimist who believes in the future connection of a multicultural experience and our ability to build it together. My why is to inspire people to be emotionally free so we can truly express ourselves, be understood, and live in harmony. My mission is to shatter the image of degradation and replace it with the mode for developing opportunity. I lead people in emotional freedom by helping them find self-awareness so they can experience a whole and complete life of bliss. Within emotional intelligence, 30 steps to live a purpose-driven life is a pyramid beginning from the outside. Your first step is inside. Inside is your awareness to find. You must get to the top of the climb if you want the answers to your mind. Okay, so today I'm gonna make a video telling you about what it takes to make money. I mean, how do you get money? We don't have to make it more complicated than just saying you have to solve a problem to meet a need. So, if you're solving a problem for somebody who has a need, that is how you make money. We really don't have to make it more complicated than that. All you're doing is asking to be compensated for the result that you are giving, right? And people are looking for results. And if you're a person who can help solve that problem for the result or the outcome that they're looking for, then you can help meet their need. And it is these unmet needs that keep us from being happy, essentially, because happiness comes from growing through the trials, the challenges, the things that make us feel like we are suffering, like we could feel better. So if you feel just a little bit better, it's going to make you more happy. But happiness really is accepting all that actually is and seeing it as good. And to be content and accept it and find approval for things within your life that you need to change, you actually have to do a little work to shift it and change and rearrange it. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how that works. And today is November 13th, 6:36 p.m. So, get paid, make money. Now, in integrity, I have to say, like, I am not the greatest person to talk about making money, but I'm gonna talk about, because I haven't made a whole lot yet, but I will. I'm gonna talk about money. Why? Why money? Why money? And if you want to get paid for doing what you love, then you can do it. But you have to pay attention to one thing: self-awareness. So, what is self-awareness? It is accepting your shortcomings while accentuating upon your strengths and making your decisions based on the openings in between. So, if you pay attention to how the world is trying to teach you and show you who you are and what you're good at and what you're not, that self-awareness is going to be tied into what needs you can actually help people meet, because you're genuinely good, gifted, talented, skilled at these things. You can help solve a problem for these people who have a need, right? So the problem is a lot of people aren't paying attention to what that might be. And they're going through their lives living a 9-to-5 job, working for a paycheck, waiting for that second week whenever you get paid, and you are addicted to the paycheck. Essentially, you are living so that you can be able to take the time on the weekend. You're living for the weekend. You're not enjoying your daily life, your daily perspective and prospect of being able to enjoy every single moment of your life, to be present, to be whole, to be content and acceptant with what is, and helping serve in your unique role. Why do I deserve money? For being me, for doing what I do. Because what you do is a consequence of who you are. Money just happens to be attracted as a magnet for people who actually put into action and go out and serve and ask for it, right? The more money you get, it just amplifies who you actually are. If you like spending on a bunch of materialistic things and you're a materialistic person, you're going to get more of that from that person, unless if they actually grow. If you're a kind-hearted human being who genuinely wants the betterment of other people and nothing else matters to you, then that's what you're going to get with money. You're going to get the expansion of that. So here we are. I'm going to draw a diagram. We all know this one, right? Ooh, those are some pretty good circles. So on one side, we're going to say passion. And on the other side, we're going to say talent. So you may or may not ask yourself the question about what it is that I am genuinely talented at. But you may be asking the question, what am I passionate about? And if you're passionate about something, it says a lot about what you enjoy doing. Now, passion is born through pain, right? It comes from basically, if you're doing something and it is something that is difficult for you, something that you had to struggle through and overcome, then you can easily be passionate about it. So you can actually be passionate about anything. Anything, really. You can say is your passion, because passion is born through pain. It's like taking a slingshot, pulling it back, and that pullback from all of the trials and the challenges you've had helps shoot you forward in a new direction. This is why somebody who knows what they're passionate about, and also through building that forward momentum with their self-awareness, they also know what they're talented at. These two things is going to help them make the decision as for what is in between. And right here is the sweet spot. I mean, really, really the sweet spot as for why you deserve getting paid money for what you do, whether you deserve it or not. Why do I get money for what I do? It's because of who you are. These are all elements of self-awareness, right? Your shortcomings, your gifts, your talents, your vulnerabilities, your insecurities. These are in your strengths. So, with this sweet spot, I'm going to go over an example. What am I good at? What am I passionate about? What am I talented at? I have a whole list, so we're going to share that. Passions. I like to dance. I really love to dance, man. I mean, if I danced more, wow. I like to sing. I like to rap. I like to speak. I like to I like to chat. I like to make videos. I like to camp. Man, it's been some time, but I like to do parkour. Been a very long time. I haven't been able to do that since I started this whole journey documenting my life. Painful to say. What else do I like to do? It's been... Oh, I enjoy healing, honestly. And I also enjoy leading. Passionate about that, for sure. Yeah. So this is a nice, decent list. So we got 5 here, 6 here. That's 11 passions. Sure, I can add more if I wanted to. And talents. So all these passions, right? You can actually extract some of these. What are my gifts and talents? I'm actually gifted at speaking. So we can say that right here, speaking is a passion. Something that I wasn't good at. I was so scared to speak, man. I was so scared and my voice was so weak. I didn't know what I was talking about when I was in college. Yet I still gave a speaking engagement and blew everybody away for a communications class. And that's when I actually awoke and I'm like, my entire life is a lie. I'm a victim of narcissistic abuse. So I had to do some genuine healing. And that healing I like to do for other people. So I'm actually a speaker as a talent. I'm actually a healer. And I'm actually a leader. So these are genuine crossovers for both passion and talent. I'm passionate about this. I enjoy doing it. I have so much energy, enthusiasm, and vigor in doing this thing. And I'm also happen to be talented at it. So this is a key segue into the universe is telling you, oh, these things are good to do. Follow your calling, please. And what is this, really? These 3, when put together, this is actually coaching. Oh, I'm not good at drawing that. Speaking, healing, and leading is coaching. It's emotional freedom coaching, what I do, which is essentially focused on, well, your health, for one, is composed of your body, your mind, and your emotions. If you get all these in connection with each other in the right vibration, and you are focusing on what they're trying to tell you, you get those in harmony with each other instead of polarizing opposites. You're at peace within with your health and your emotional health, your mental health, your bodily, physical health. These are really aspects of the soul. So what all this is telling me, these few things aligning together, is that I am literally healing the soul. And I call that emotional freedom coaching. There is also spiritual freedom, which I am working on currently. But emotional freedom is really the window to the soul, because your soul is your heart. If you listen and pay attention to your heart, your emotions, what your body's telling you, and not suppressing that and not allowing your mind to suppress that and only listening to that, then you are becoming more emotionally free, right? More in tune with your mental health, your emotional health, building emotional intelligence and self-awareness, because that has everything to do with all of this. All of this is self-awareness. So speaker, healer, and leader. Other talents. You see, the things that I'm passionate about, they are really, really what I'm talented at. Because I can easily become passionate about what I'm talented at because I'm good at it. I enjoy it. Just like you. If you're good at something, it's easy to enjoy it and become passionate about it. So there's also dance. I'm a dancer. I'm an entertainer. Entertainer meaning, I like to get a reaction from you to then take that energy and bounce it back to make you feel better. That is what an entertainer is. A performer. A performer means I have to feel it in order to be it and share it with you. Genuine. You have to perform in your element. Authenticity. those two together, oh, I'm here to share my joy with you. I'm an artist, meaning I'm a performing artist, actually, right? So this is actually a performing artist for what it is that I'm supposed to be doing, following my calling. And I am a singer. I can actually sing when my health is in check. And I figured this out when I moved in here. I had a healing session one day, connecting with my higher self. And I woke up the next morning and I could sing. And I literally sung like 30 songs, praise and worship music. And it was beautiful. I had never done that before. Never done that. I never knew I could sing. I mean, I knew I could sing a little bit, but my voice was so clear. It was just wonderful. And I'm also a rapper, right? So I like to rap. I'm an interviewer. And I'm a writer. So what do we notice with all these things? Speaker, healer, leader, dancer, entertainer, performer, artist, singer, rapper, interviewer, and writer. All of these things are centered around communication. They are all methods of self-expression, as is pretty much everything that you're trying to do. But all of these are communication. So everything I'm good at is communicating, right? So what does that mean? I mean, what brings me the most joy is connecting and chatting with people, exchanging energy, along with dancing. I mean, being a performing artist and sharing my joy for the process of creating something that unifies the entire world, has no limitation to its expression, and it's a beautiful medium such as music. That is beyond. That is like the short term, I am an entertainer, I want to make you feel joy. And then there's the emotional freedom coaching, which is, I am here to help you feel better in the long term. There's a short term and a long term, and both of these aspects have to have the center around communication. So everything I do in love is about people, essentially. I'm making videos and I'm sharing that with other people. All of these things have to do with other people. Hopefully I'm not dancing alone. I could do that though, you know. Hopefully I'm not speaking alone. Hopefully I'm speaking to somebody to connect with them, right? It's all about relationships for me. And everything I do in love is about relationships. This is pretty much an idea because I'm self-aware of what I can come up with, but I want to challenge you to brainstorm and really brainstorm with your life about what it is that you are genuinely passionate about, what it is that you're talented at. Let's think about some other passions. Like when I was younger, I enjoyed running. I really did. Just to give you an idea. And I really, really want to challenge you to find the middle in between here, because this is what you can easily be compensated for. You are genuinely good at, gifted, and talented. And if you enjoy doing it, then why not do it? It's very simple. You don't have to overcomplicate it, right? Why money? Who's got my money? Is something that Grant Cardone would say. And I followed Grant back in 2017 all the way to now. And he's just grown so much over this time period. And there's an expression he always says that is, who's got my money? So we also have to consider, I don't really like running now, so I'm not going to put that in there. We also have to consider one more thing. And I can't really put this in here, but imagine there's another circle here, right? This circle is about the market. Now, marketing is about what you're saying and to whom you're saying it to. Hello there again. I happened to not finish this message last night. The battery died and I didn't feel like finishing it today, but I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I do that so that I keep in integrity and I provide the most value possible that I can for this video. Because realistically speaking, talking about the market isn't something that I would really want to do, but I'm going to do it for your benefit. And I'm going to say that the things that I've learned about this are from other people too, but they're not so much wholly developed within my integrity because I have grown internally and I can share that with you. But when it comes to externally getting my message out there and all that, I haven't entirely succeeded. But I'm going to tell you what I learned from someone who is named Brian Rose, and he happens to be on London Real. Something that I happen to watch is his, I wouldn't call it a podcast, but I call it an interview series. It's probably a podcast too. And that's whom I listen to David Icke about with their conspiracy theories, which completely opened my mind. I would recommend you watch that too. It would be London Real Rose / Icke, ICKE 3, episode 3, or episode 5 on londonreal.tv. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. But Brian Rose happened to talk about this market part here. We can also talk about Grant Cardone. Who's got my money, right? I went ahead and changed this title to, if you want money, you have to meet a need, right? So how do you make money? You meet a need. That makes more sense than why money. I was trying to put it into words, I couldn't think about it. But all of this and the market, you have to look at all of this as in the market. You have to think of who's got my money. Now, we discussed previously, you have to meet a need and solve a problem. And that's how you make the money, right? So the reason you create a business is to create a customer, right? So you're trying to bring people in who have a need for your services, they have a need for your goods, your products, whatever that may be. And it's important that you think about all the people out there who might want that from you, right? So if you can classify it and really narrow down what people you need to be able to speak to and share your message with, or your product, your goods, your services, Brian Rose happened to talk about this concept called your 1,000 true fans. And I actually have notes here that I'm going to be sharing with you. But basically, the term coined by Kevin Kelly, one of the founders of Wired magazine, he said, Brian, in order to launch a successful business, all you have to focus on is 1,000 true fans. This is your market. A true fan is someone who will buy your products. They will travel 2 hours to hear you speak live. They'll tell their friends all about how great you are. And this true fan will probably spend $60 and $100 per year with you. Brian, if you can amass 1,000 of those together, then you'll have $100,000 in revenue. With that, you can quit your job and you can start scaling your business. But all you have to do is focus on those 1,000 people. If you focus on 1 million, you're going to get it all wrong with mixed messages, right? So you need to focus on a very specific type of person with a specific type of problem who likes you and where you're coming from. And once you do that, you can build a business and get your first $100,000. So with all of that in mind, this is your market. You're trying to create and meet a need by having a business to create a customer. Who's got my money are these people where you would demograph through age, you would demograph through gender, you would demograph through where they live, the location, these things. But more importantly, who are they? Like what are their needs, right? So the market, you can see the market and the passion and the talent cross over right here as the golden triangle. Now, I wasn't supposed to write anything inside here to bring them all together, but if you can be able to identify the age, location, gender, whatever it is that you're looking for, and the people who are buying your goods and services, whether that be, digital courses, clothes, sushi, whatever it is that you are selling, it's all composed of individuals. So you really need to narrow down and see who that ideal client would be, your market. the person that you are serving. So if you can look at that, then the golden triangle is where all your talents, your passions, and the market come together. And this is going to be the sweet, 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 sweet spot. It's called the golden triangle. So now you have to think about, with all of this in mind, what it is that you actually have for your offering, right? Like what is your business idea? This is really in part with what all of this is trying to share, right? So if you can kind of brainstorm what that might be, let me give you the example of what it is that I do. I happen to share my passion for healing and leading and speaking, which is also something that I'm genuinely talented at. You know, we're not focusing on me going dirt bike riding or doing some other crazy stuff like parkour. We're focused on bringing these together right in here. And if I'm to serve somebody whose need has to be met, well, we can think of the center of all this, you know, people who have a need, somebody who has mental health challenges, emotional health challenges, somebody who needs to learn how to better critically think for themselves, develop their business, develop self-awareness, develop emotional intelligence, you know, really, really just step into who they authentically are so that they can live a happier life. Because realistically speaking, everything I've shared with you, you cannot have happiness without self-awareness. Like, the more you get to know yourself, the more you know your shortcomings, the more you know your strengths, the easier it is for you to walk in alignment and on a path that you are not doing things that you don't want to do, that cause you pain, that cause you suffering, and you're doing more of it what it is that you want to do. So if you can stay within alignment of that and know the contrast, know the opposing polarities, and then also create this integration with it by doing the shadow work and acknowledging those aspects of yourself that you don't want to acknowledge, bringing them to light and saying, hey, I'm going to be authentically me, and I'm going to bring this together, and I'm going to take that part as a part of myself and acknowledge that and do something to heal about it, then that is where all of this comes together. And then you can be your best version of yourself, increase your potential, activate your potential, and live a life of bliss, which is what I'm trying to share with you. So my market is people who have these challenges with these things and they don't know how to be able to work through them. And because I've done this myself, all of this in integrity, that is why I'm sharing it with you, because these passions and talents, my gifts for healing, speaking, leading as an emotional freedom coach is going to come into everything you do, which everything you do is spiritual. I mean, consider that we are incarnated beings. We have been brought here as a spirit, a spiritual being into a human experience, which is this body. So when we were incarnated here, we basically otherwise would have a unlimited lifespan. We are eternal, right? So when we come into this body and we incarnate into this physical flesh, what it is that we are going to have to do is figure out how best to live out this human experience within the physical. So I'm trying to share that with you. You may have emotional traumas in the past. You may have complications that you're going to go through in the future. But the sooner that you confront those things that are challenging you, causing you stress, making you trialed, and the sooner you acknowledge that you have to deal with that resistance. You know, if there's a problem that is causing you conflict, you deal with it right then and there, then you can move forward and not have to deal with what is holding you back, right? And the more of those layers that you shed by bringing them into your awareness, acknowledging them as a problem and recognizing that there's a necessity to do something about it, then you'll be able to have the courage to step forward and live your best life. But until you get that, you cannot have happiness because you need that for self-awareness. So I'm the person who's going to be your tour guide, right? I am not a travel agent. I'm not a person who's going to send you somewhere I haven't been. That's not what I do. That's why I'm telling you, hey, I learned this marketing thing here from somebody else, and I don't have 1,000 true fans or an idea of who that really, really, really is until I get 1,000 true fans. So it's the idea of I haven't written down what my ideal client, 1,000 true fans, will be in this aspect since, you know, I was doing a completely different business. So I've got to narrow that down now into a niche and be able to do that. And then I can share, oh, this happens to work within my integrity here, and I can share that with you. So everything I'm doing is within integrity, and I want to bring it into your awareness that you can heal your mental health challenges, your emotional health. You can become spiritually free. Everything is spiritual. Everything. The moment you were born here, everything is spiritual. Every single moment of your daily life is a spiritual practice. So the more you're attuned to what it is that you need, what it is that others need, the more you're going to be able to fuse your passions, your talents, your authenticity, and meet a need that the market has that you also happen to share, in which case you can make money by giving it there. Ha! I hope that has been very, very helpful to you, and I want to wish you a blessed day. Thank you for taking the time and the attention and watching my video. I know you can never get that back, so just remember that. I thank you for investing in me and I in you. And don't forget to take care of the world, okay? Stay tuned for the Motiva Familia. I love you.
Published in the 21st century by Earth Osada, just so you can't see your agreement to come in peace is what makes this a safe place for all of us to breathe.